Stephen Bywater, and I'm the Senior Marketing Manager for China Daily UK, and will be your Master of Ceremonies this evening. First of all, can I kindly request that all mobile devices please be switched to silent, and while you have your mobile phones out, please feel free to download a free copy of the China Daily from our app. Self-promotion aside, now, on behalf of China Daily UK, we'd like to welcome you and thank you for taking the time to join us this evening for our China Daily Night. We'd also like to give special thanks to Hanban UK for partnering with us this evening, and we are extremely thankful and privileged to have one of the world's leading authorities on Confucianism as our keynote speaker this evening, Professor Tu Weiming. Finally, we'd like to give special thanks to the Bank of China UK for sponsoring tonight's event. To say a few words, may I introduce Mr. Fan Wenjian, CEO of the Bank of China UK and General Manager of Bank of China London branch, to the stage.
Professor Du and Mr. Xie, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's such a great pleasure for us to see you all here today. Welcome all to Bank of China. And I think we are so pleased to be able to have the opportunity to host the China Daily Night today. And Bank of China and China Daily has very close relationship, and not only in head office level, on the Bank of China and China Daily are strategic partners on a head office level, but also in UK, we are very pleased to see, actually we have witnessed the growth of Bank of China in London, and we have a very special relationship, and on business side and also on other sides. I think, for example, I think you may know that actually we are very pleased to be the landlord for China Daily, in our Atlantic Cannon Street building. But we are very glad to see that China has grown very well in the past few years, and with the circulation increasing so rapidly. And I would encourage everybody to subscribe to China Daily. And I think the more you subscribe, I think the more secure our rental income is. And I think it's such a great privilege for us to have Professor Tu here in our building. And I myself have been very lucky, because yesterday I had the chance to attend the Henry Kissinger lecture in the Royal Academy of Arts. And during the lecture, we have listened to Professor Du's insightful views and on Confucianism and other aspects that he shared with us. I think everybody there was very impressed, including Dr. Kissinger himself. And so in that regard, I was really lucky. But on the other hand, I also feel a great regret today that I can't stay, because I can't stay to the end of the lecture today. I have another appointment I have to rush for to meet our regulators, which is very important, so I can't miss that. But I hope I didn't miss too much, as I had already attended the lecture yesterday. But I'm sure you will feel the same as I had after yesterday's lecture. I think with Professor Tu, I think if you read his CV, I'm sure probably most of you have done that, you will all agree with me, you will be very deeply impressed by his CV. And also as a fellow Chinese, I also feel very proud. I'm sure you will feel the same. And I think Mr. Tu, in his way and with his thorough knowledge, is promoting Confucianism in the Western world, and try to try to promote harmonious existence of Confucianism with other philosophies in the world, which is something really great to do. So in that respect, we do admire him, and thank you, Mr. Tu, for your great efforts. And Bank of China, just a few words, I think Bank of China London branch was set up in 1929. We've been here for 85 years. As a bank, of course, we have to do business, we have to make money. But on the other hand, it's also our mission that we promote cultural exchanges between UK and China. So on that regard, every year we sponsor some cultural events like this. And this one is a good example, and also with Hanban. And I'm very pleased to see Hanban is also a partner here tonight. And every year we also sponsor Hanban's China-British Chinese language competition, which is very, very, very encouraging to see. If we encourage more local people to speak Chinese, I'm sure they will understand more and more about Confucianism. And I think as we continue to develop in UK, I think we'll continue to make a great efforts to promote Chinese culture and Confucianism, including Confucianism in this country, together with our partners of China Day and Hanban. And you may have noticed that since our new president, President Xi, took his role as the president of the country, in many occasions he has quoted Confucius words or wise sayings. So that shows how important our country is attaching to Confucianism. And the more we develop, the more prosperous we are, I think the more spiritual needs we have for our people and for ourselves. So in that regard, Professor Du's work is especially significant. So we are very lucky today to hear what Mr. Du has to share with us about his views on those regards. And lastly, I wish everybody have a good evening today, and I'm sure you will enjoy tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fan. I'd now like to invite to the stage to say a few more words and to introduce tonight's keynote speaker, Mr. Xie Songxing, General Manager of China Daily UK.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. A warm welcome to the very first China Daily Night. I'm Xie Songxing, editor of China Daily Europe and chairman of the China Daily UK Limited. First of all, my sincere thanks to Mr. Chen Tongdu and the Confucius Institute headquarters UK office for jointly organizing this networking event, and to Mr. Wang Yingjian and his Bank of China for the generosity of sponsoring this event. This month, headlines declared that China could eclipse the United States as the world's biggest economy by as early as this year, under the World Bank's international comparison program's purchasing power parity estimate. Well, I'm very surprised that this time I didn't much notice the kind of enthusiasm from China. The authorities were quoted as saying that World Bank figures were not accurate and could be misleading. There could be quite a few different explanations for this unwillingness to accept such an echo. We all know that GDP is everything mentality has been prolonged in China. Of course, such an approach has ensured the high economic growth for 3 decades and secured China's status as the second largest economy. But on the other hand, we have seen rising problems almost in every front. We have seen depleting resources, worsening pollution, increasing social conflicts, and more and more people are asking, how long can China's growth model sustain? Well, tonight, we are extremely fortunate to have Professor Tu Weiling as our keynote speaker. Mr. Tu is Professor of Philosophy and founding Dean of the Institute of Advanced Humanistic Studies at Peking University. Before joining Peking University, he was a Harvard Yenching Professor of Chinese History and Philosophy and of Confucian Study in the Department of East Asian Languages. and Civilizations at Harvard University. He is a fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, executive member of the Federation of International Philosophical Societies, and titular member of the International Institute of Philosophy. As a renowned international scholar and thinker, Professor Tu is committed to the study of Confucian teachings in the modern age. His studies have generated worldwide interests and debate in academic, political, and especially business circles on how we should apply age-old wisdoms and values to guide our society to create and maintain a sustainable, equitable, and fair global community. It is my great privilege last night to attend Henry Kissinger lecture given by Professor Tu